Anochi esmach asis badonai igdil asot im benecha shmonai ramu al ramim nigla v'sinai richbo ribotayim alfei shinai Zeyim aleh yisayit lomam B'mematit Yahu ben Yochanan Zeyim aleh yisayit lomam B'mematit Yahu
Time of the revolution, and I'm just giving you some of the high points here. At the time of the revolution, the very first act of insurrection following word of the Declaration of Independence being signed in Philadelphia, when the Declaration of Independence was signed, nothing particularly happened after that until word reached New York. When word reached New York, the colonists came into this park after the reading. The fence up dates from 1770. The British had put this fence up in order to protect the statue, the hated statue of the King of England, which stood exactly right here, where the menorah does, to declare their freedom from Britain. The colonists came into this park and stood exactly where we're standing, and they ripped the statue down. And it's a famous story. It should be even more famous, but it was the beginning of the American Revolution, with the British right offshore, 133 warships waiting to come on shore and end this rebellion. George Washington, who was not here earlier in the evening when the colonists ripped the statue, all by himself at about midnight, rode down, he was in New York City, he rode down Broadway, tethered his horse to the fence, and he walked around this park looking at the pieces of the statue of the King of England at his feet, and looking offshore at the British waiting to come on shore to hang him for treason.
Bim bum 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 Hanerot Allah.
What is the Jewish story that's so important here? It's every bit as dramatic. It's every bit as dramatic, and it's within the context of the larger history, but it's so powerful. The Jewish experience in America began right here where we're standing. In September 1654, the first observant Jews ever to arrive in North America arrived here in early September 1654. They were fleeing persecution in Portuguese Brazil, led by their rabbi, Asser Levi, and along with him 22 Jewish men, women, and children. They arrived here on September 7, 1654. They were on a ship headed back to Europe. They came here and they decided that they wanted to make their new life here, and they stayed here. So in fact, in December 1654, the first Hanukkah ever celebrated in America was celebrated right here.
Bim bum bim bum bim bum bim bum bim bum bim bam bim bam. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam. Ya ba bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim bam bim.
Good evening. My name is Abraham Kurtulis. I'm a Turkish American. I'm a Muslim American. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here today. It's a great privilege and honor for me to be a part of the menorah lighting every year with my good friend Rabbi Joe Potasnik. I'm very proud, and we should all be proud to be here. And now I'm very proud to introduce someone who is synonymous with Bowling Green, who has been instrumental in this project, among with his many, many other titles. He is also the rabbi of Bowling Green, Rabbi Joseph Potasnik. And if anyone deserves a Hanukkah gift today, he is certainly the one. So a little symbolic gift for you, Rabbi Potasnik.
Thank you. We are honored to have several groups here, individuals here. But one thing I found very touching, and that is some years ago, it was a Christian named Arthur Piccolo, a Muslim named Abraham Kurtulis, who said to us as Jews, you need to have a menorah at Bowling Green, you need to have an Israeli flag raised on Israel Independence Day. If that is not a great statement about freedom in America, when a Muslim and a Christian tell Jews you have to have visibility, I don't know what else is. So thank you for all that you've done over the years for us. It came over to me, a survivor of the camps. To me, having a survivor of the camps with us tonight makes it even more special. It just shows how that light of Chanukah will not be extinguished. So thank you for representing the eternal spirit of the people. I'm going to now have Cantor Paul Zim of the Fort Lee Jewish Center. One of the great cantors in America is what he tells me all the time. But Cantor Paul Zim will lead us in National Anthem and the Hatikvah. Cantor Zim. Thank you, Cantor Zim. One of the things that the Israeli consulate has done so well here in New York is made the relationship between FDNY and Israel even closer. When we had the horrific fires in the Haifa area, FDNY reached out immediately, on their own, sua sponte, on their own, to say, we want to stand with Israel and do whatever we can to combat the fires. That is so because of a relationship that is intact. So I know people are disenchanted with what's occurred this past week at the UN, but nevertheless, when you have people like Amir Sagi and Andrew and many good people in this country, you have our Borough President Gail Brewer, Assemblyman Brian Kavanaugh, you have decent people, nevertheless, a relationship remains together. Deputy Consul General Amir Sagi.
As you said, it's been a very difficult week, and it's great to be here and to light and to bring truth to this part of the city and to the world in our Festival of Lights. As you said, America is our strongest ally and our closest friend, and we cherish this relationship. and we'll do everything in our capacity to make it stronger and deeper. And Chanukah is teaching us the lesson of fighting for what is right and for just and for truth, and that's exactly what we will continue to do. And thank you for having me, and Chag Sameach to all of you.
Thank you. The name Gail Brewer is synonymous with, I think, loyalty, love, a person who is always there for us. And I just want to thank Howard Teach, who is I would say the director of the Manhattan Jewish Historical Initiative and the Brooklyn Jewish Historical, all the initiatives, Howard Teach is there. Again, bringing us together. And one of the great things about Howard Teach is, I think he reminds us whenever we come together that our denominational differences shouldn't define us, that we have to stand together as one people. So, Howard, thank you for what you do. And thank you for your coordination with Borough President's Office. And Shula, saw Shula before. There she is, right there. Great coordinator behind the scenes, who never wants any credit, but certainly deserves credit. So it's a great honor to call upon the president of the Borough of Manhattan.
Yeah, but nobody else has your humor, your understanding. You are our favorite institution in all 5 boroughs. It's a special honor to be here tonight with Shula and with Assemblymember Kavanaugh and others. And I want to thank you for allowing me to share in the celebration of light over darkness, goodness over evil. We all know that Hanukkah is a time we come together to celebrate the inner healing light within each of us as we move toward wellness. It's about hope, survival against all odds, courage and belief in our ability to overcome somewhat insurmountable obstacles. I wish everyone a happy Hanukkah and a happy, safe, and prosperous New Year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me say it's also now a great honor to call upon Ted Comet, who is a board member of B'nai Zion and a very close friend of the late Elie Wiesel. Mr. Comet?
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be representing the Wiesel family. We're a small group here in relationship to the size of our city, but let's keep in mind that the Maccabees also started out as a small group. And in terms of a small group addressing a larger contingent, when I think of Elie Wiesel, and I first met him when he was an orphan in France in 1946, when I think of this young man who came to America without money, without position, without anything, and yet he built himself up into become a prophet among the world. They say, Ein Navi b'iro, no one is a prophet in his own place, but he managed to do that. And how did he manage to do that? It was by becoming a moral force.
You know, you look at the Hanukkah menorah, we're going to light in a few moments, but there are many branches, and if you look, every branch is on the same level. No branch is higher than the other. And maybe that's a statement for all of us, that we are different branches of one faith, different branches of different faiths, common roots, but we all stand as equals next to one another. That's a very important lesson for all people today. Gideon Schlush, president of the New York Board of Rabbis.
It's an honor to be here as the president of the New York Board of Rabbis, comprised of more than 750 rabbis from around the tri-state area, the largest interdenominational rabbinic body in the world, the face of the New York Jewish community to the broader world. On Passover, we ask a question. We ask, why is this night different from all other nights? On this Hanukkah, I think we're all asking the same question. Why is this night different from all other Hanukkahs? Our candlelighting this year, no doubt, has more meaning than in past years. The New York Board of Rabbis is constantly working to remind the world that Israel is a beacon of light in an ocean of darkness. Thank God the holiday of Hanukkah is upon us, because Hanukkah carries the message of hope. It's the story of the few who stood up against the many. It's the story of the light that shone in the darkness, and that we celebrate tonight and these 8 nights a miracle that happened 2,200 years ago. But you fast forward today, and you know that the few are still standing up to the many, and the light is still shining in the darkness. And one of the most powerful lights of all, we know, is the state of Israel.
I have some co-sponsors here this evening, one being B'nai Zion Foundation. Cheryl Beer is going to send a few words. She's the Executive Vice President. We have the American-Israel Friendship League, Bill Bear, representing them tonight. We also have other organizations here. I see American Zionist Movement, the Center for Jewish History, the Museum of Jewish Heritage, the National Yiddish Theater, and we have Richard Allen. I don't care what his organizational label is, he's a proud Jew. And when you look at the Chanukah, one candle stands taller because it brings light to the others. It tells all of us, you be that tall candle, you be that proud Jew. As Rabbi Shlush said, don't be afraid to speak your conscience. So, Richard, thank you. And now, Cheryl Beer.
Hanukkah is known as the Festival of Lights, a holiday commemorating the triumphant battle of the Maccabees against the Greek oppressors. Hanukkah is a time of miracles. 1 day's oil lasted for 8 days, allowing the Kohanim time to make additional pure oil for the temple service. Without this oil, the temple service cannot continue. At B'nai Zion Medical Center and at Ahava Village, miracle occurs daily. The medical center, with its unique equipment and skilled physicians, give at-risk babies specialized care, not available everywhere, to continue in their life cycle. Ahava Village also does wonders with young people who come from troubled home where it is impossible to develop into healthy adults. May we all find light in our darkness, joy in our sadness, and above all, hope for peace and compassion. Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Cheryl. Let me also recognize Sari Singer, who's with Strength to Strength, bringing victims of terrorism from all different backgrounds and beliefs together. It's one of the most meaningful experiences we have in New York is when you gather all of us and we speak to those victims and they share their experiences and talk about how terrorism doesn't discriminate. It's a threat to all people. Would you now welcome Bill Bear of the American Israel Friendship League. Bill?
American Israel Friendship League is very pleased to be a part of this celebration. 45 years ago, some very foresighted individuals came together, Americans of all different nationalities, all different ethnic backgrounds, and all different religions, because they recognized that the strength of Israel is in the core of the people of the United States. And so 45 years ago, the American Israel Friendship League began working with Americans of all walks of life to help them to understand Israel and to love Israel. And tonight, to be part of this celebration, we certainly applaud Mr. Piccolo, who every year with his commission works tirelessly to put together not only the Hanukkah celebration, but also the flag raising at the Independence Day and other celebrations. So on behalf of all of us, Arthur, we want to thank you for what you've done, and I think Arthur deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
So now, since this is the time we're all here to see the candles lit, we've all experienced a darkness this last week. The candles that we're going to light tonight represent light, represent a future, and represent the hope that I know that each of us has here tonight.
Rabbi Dr. Elia Badi of the Safra Synagogue. Thank you. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Why don't we have the lighting of the candles, the LED lights, and then we'll have Yiddish theater. You sing for us? All right? Okay.
Please join in the singing of the Chanukah lights. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של חנוכה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. מעוז צור ישועתי לך נאה לשבח תיקום בית תפילתי ושם תודה נספח, ליצחין מטבח, מצרם נבח, אזמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח, אזמור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח.
The melody, and then we'll see it in English. You know the English words too. Oy Chanukah, Chanukah, Yontif Hashener, Lustig Kera Freilich, and ich do noch a Zehner, alle Nacken English feeling mir, frische Hese Latte, Essen mir, geschwinde, sind Kinder, die Chanukah lebt lechor, so jeder Basunder, singen dem Wunder und tanzen freilich im Chor, so jeder Basunder, singen dem Wunder und tanzen freilich im Chor. Now in English. Oh Chanukah, Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the horror. Gather around the table, we'll give you a treat. Cradles to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are dancing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Freilich and Chanukah. Happy Chanukah. Thank you, everyone. You're all